Today on Channel 98, Public Access in Alhambra, we are interviewing famous cultural anthropologist and historian Eugene R. Figueroa. We will be discussing Chapter 9, Biological Evidence, in his critically acclaimed new book, Experts Argue.
We only have a few minutes, so let's try and make this quick, okay?
I will do absolutely anything you say.
Right, so what are the basic differences between interventionists and diffusionists? And by that I mean look at how several separate varieties of plants and seeds made it across the ocean to propagate in several separate corners of the earth at the same time.
Well, inventionists disregard theories that pre-Columbian seafaring travelers spread these plants. They believe that things either spread rapidly after Iberians carry them over, or they spread naturally.
So who are the Iberians?
The Spanish and the Portuguese. The diffusionists believe that these plants were carried over by passengers on sea crafts, long before the Iberians.
Are you more of an inventionalist or diffusionist?
I'll tell you later.
Elmer Drew Merrill insists that it is physically possible for seeds like unopened cotton balls, gourd, or coconuts of many plants to travel across the ocean by natural means. Does he have any other theories on how plants spread?
He thinks post-Columbian Europeans carried them.
Like who?
The Portuguese on secret voyages. He argues that they may have stopped in America, Africa, and possibly Asia without anyone knowing. Some people argue this is impossible, though.
And why is that?
They believe it would be impossible in a chain of command to keep such voyages a secret.
How does he explain how maize was found in China merely 25 years after it was introduced in Spain?
He believes it was brought by the Portuguese to Goa and India and spread to Assam and rapidly to China.
What other crops or seeds besides maize were widely dispersed?
The peanut from South America to Asia, the sweet potato, which may have been spread from South America to Polynesia.
Would you like a cigarette?
No thanks, I don't smoke.
Did you like anything else?
Do you have anything to eat?
Well, back to the sweet potato. How do inventionists explain its pre-Columbian cultivation in Polynesia?
They think that one or a few voyages of Polynesians to South Americans carried them. They probably gathered these crops to eat back on the way home and planted them when they got back.
What do you get when you mix an American and a Polynesian?
I don't know.
An Amnesian! Ever heard of that one before?
I don't know.
What's going on with the pineapples and peaches?
Pineapples were found in European carvings in Pompeii and in Assyria long before Columbus sailed the world. Peaches were found to be grown and eaten by the American Indians when the Spanish arrived. Inventionists have a hard time explaining that.
I got a theory on how they got there. Want to hear it?
Maybe later.
So what is the main reason inventionists don't believe that these plants were spread by pre-Columbian travelers?
Technology. People in the late Neolithic period just didn't have the means to travel like the Iberians. Cotton, maize, beans, and squash were grown in Teotihuacan Valley in Mexico 7,000 years ago. It's unlikely people traveled great distances back then.
What did the diffusionists think happened?
Carl L. Johansson and Anzi Parker argue that carvings of corn on religious temples in India show that maize was part of their culture in the 12th century. They think that maize must have gotten there by boat.
So what?
Well, no one believed it possible for the South Americans this time to build crafts worthy of traveling those great distances. Yet boat is the only explanation.
What do the inventionists think?
They think the diffusionists are crazy. They think these carvings are mangoes, anona, or pandanas.
What is a pandana?
I'll tell you later. They also argue that no fossils or archaeological evidence of ears of maize have been uncovered to substantiate this assertion.
Alright, so back to the sweet potato. What are the theories on how it got to Polynesia?
People believe it was either introduced by the Spaniards, taken there by early South American explorers, or picked up by Polynesian navigators. Richard Dixon has demolished the first theory by dating its use in ancient rituals. Most, like Douglas Zen, argue that the spread of the sweet potato dates back to the 11th century. George Carter, a famous diffusionist, argues that humans crossing the ocean with plants and seeds is the reason for bottle gourd's appearance in Americas, to the fact that it loses fertility after long journeys in seawater. He also believes that human intervention is the reason for American cotton hybrids.